Hello everyone, hope you guys have been well. Today I'm going to be talking about the Jetboil Stash, the little hiking, camping, whatever you want to use it for stove, super portable, super light. Let's open this thing up and talk about it. So this right here is the Jetboil Stash, Jetboil's newest and greatest, I guess you could say, camping stove or whatever you use it for. Basically Jetboil's newest stove. It's also their lightest stove that they've made thus far. Comes in at 7.1 ounces, and that is without the fuel, obviously. But the stuff that it comes with is 7.1 ounces, which is ridiculously light for this kind of thing. So great for backpacking, or anyone that just doesn't want a big, I wouldn't say big, but a heavier Jetboil. And this does a lot of the things that the bigger Jetboil family can do. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and talk about what's inside. So we'll start at the top, obviously, we have to get into it. This is the handle, just little metal handle with a rubberized coating. Makes it easy to grab, and I'm sure it prevents some of the heat from transferring to this. Go ahead and open the lid. We'll set this to the side for now. Go ahead and pull out the contents and talk about the actual cook pot itself. So this is the Stash cook pot. It's made out of aluminum, and it's got the little, they remind me of like a heat sink, essentially. It's what makes the Jetboil boil so fast. So I've tested it myself, and this thing can actually boil water. Fill the whole thing up, I believe it's around 2 cups of water. It'll boil it in 2.5 minutes, which is pretty nice, pretty speedy, and it's awesome for when you're on the trail. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it on the inside, but there is little markers. They're on the, you can see. There's markers on, these are backwards because you're looking at it from the outside, but on the inside there's lines, and it tells you basically the water levels. So cook pot, not a whole lot to it. It is ridiculously light, and it's great. Seems like it'll last a long time. And to go with the cook pot, it's a pretty important part, is the burner of the Stash. So this is a titanium burner. It's also pretty light. It's actually, I think it's heavier than the cup, but it's still very light for what it is. And this just pops out, and that's your little adjustment knob for the gas level. And then the stands here, you can just pull out, and you got your little surface. So yeah, that's the burner. There's not a whole lot to talk about. It's adjustable with this little twist thing. There's not much of a difference in the middle. It's kind of on or off kind of deal. And there's also no igniter built into this one, so that's why you have to carry a lighter, which I pulled out. You need a lighter or matches. You need a flame basically to actually ignite this thing. But yeah, it's a good burner. It definitely puts out some heat. I've heard that it's not that great for doing things like putting a pan on top of the burner and trying to cook something where you need like lower heat, because there's not much temperature difference. It's doable, but it's not preferable, I guess, from what I've heard. Really, this is a great stove for boiling water or getting things hot quickly. I mainly use it, all I've actually used it for is boiling water. So boil water for Mountain House meals, for oatmeal, ramen noodles, all that kind of stuff. This is the little tray for the gas canister, which is held on the lid. It snaps into place pretty well, actually. It's kind of hard to get off. It's the lid. And I'm not going to do it right now because it's a little tricky, but actually we'll just go for it. This snaps in to these little grooves. It does require some pressure. I don't know if it's just the MSR canister or what, but now it's in there. It's got different grooves for bigger canisters, but makes it so it's nice and sturdy. And then screw this on and you don't have to worry about it tipping. Set this to the side. I realized I should talk about it real quick. It's just a lid. It's obviously heat resistant, I would say. Has a little pour spout on there, so you could boil. So I believe the real purpose for this is this hole is for a French press attachment that Jetboil sells. It's like 15 bucks. So you can go ahead, boil water, put your coffee grounds in there, put the lid on with the French press attachment, press you some coffee, and pour the coffee, sorry, went off camera there. Pour the coffee right into the mug that you're drinking out of. So yeah, that concludes the contents of the Jetboil Stash. Real quick, I'm just going to show you how it all goes together, and then we'll talk about it real quick and wrap the video up. So to get everything back in there, I'm going to go ahead, I like to start with this. You just fold this back over. Put this in the bag, and I always cinch it tight. I'm gonna go ahead, snap this gas fuel canister off of the stand. This is the first thing you put back, so plop that in there. Take the fuel canister, and go ahead and set it right on the side, so it's not sitting on the actual stand. I just call this a fuel canister. The burner, put the burner so it's not sitting on the stand. And then the lighter I set right next to it, standing up. So actually, if you buy one of the smaller Bic lighters, it'll fit right in this concave, and then when you snap it on to the lid, it will be there instead of free floating in the Jetboil. So the lighter would be right there. I plan on doing that, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So then you just take your lid with your fuel on it and put it in there and seal it all up. And then you can just squeeze your handle, and that's the Jetboil Stash all packed up, ready to go. Just do a quick size reference. This is a iPhone 12 Pro Max next to the Jetboil Stash. So pretty small unit. Let's go ahead and talk about this and then wrap the video. So that is my video about the Jetboil Stash. Not a whole lot to it, just wanted to show you guys what it's about. Great little stove, I love it. I keep it in my hiking backpack, and then if I'm out for a long day of hiking, I'll have Mountain House meal with me, boil some water, and then eat a nice warm meal on the trail. It's really nice. I went with the Stash because of how light it is, and so far I absolutely love it. I'm not sure how it would do on actual more complex cooking, I guess you would say. Basically anything besides boiling water. I've heard it's a little tricky, but it will work. Obviously it's still a stove and it'll provide heat. I mainly recommend it for anyone who wants to just boil water though. Boils it nice and fast, it's light, and yeah, great little stove. So that is the video on the Jetboil Stash. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you please. I would appreciate it. Please let me know what I can do to improve any of my future videos. Let me know what you want to see, if there's anything you want to see. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.